Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of The Crystal Goddess. Thank you very much for joining me. It is a pleasure to be here with you today. And today we are going to be doing something that I've been promising for a very long time. And I thought, considering the time of year we're at, welcoming the new year in, releasing the old year, this is actually quite a good one to do. So I have decided this episode is going to be a guided meditation for cord cutting. Now, what do I mean by cord cutting? When we go through a situation or we have a connection with someone in our life, that connection can be symbolized by a cord, and quite often, if you look through various different techniques, it's imagined as a golden cord connecting you, just like an umbilical cord would connect a baby to a mother. And those connections can drain you and your energetic field of the energies, and it can take a lot from you. So you find that certain people might have caused a resentment in you, that resentment then starts sort of bleeding into different areas of your life. A situation could have happened in the past that you've not yet let go of. And again, it drains you of the energy that you need to progress in your life and to expand and become a happier and better person. So cord cutting is something that can be done frequently, and it's not the end of it. So whenever you go through a process of self-healing, whenever you go through a process of self-help, you're going to have to keep working on yourself. I was talking to a friend recently about how much she's had to work on herself over the years. But life doesn't stop. Life carries on, and there's always going to be something that comes up that's going to fire your baselines off, that's going to resurface different feelings. So if you have a technique that helps to cut those cords, to kind of sever that energetic connection so you can release it into the universe and forget about it so you can focus on you being you, that's something really, really good. I've had to do a lot of cord cutting over the years. There are situations that I still need to work on. I still have to cut certain cords. And sometimes you have to cut the cord over and over again. Sometimes that connection is so strong that it doesn't quite work the first time, and that's fine. That's fine. The biggest thing about cord cutting for me is it's an act of forgiveness. Now, forgiveness can be a word that kind of sits not very well with some people, and there have been certain situations in my life where I've kind of not wanted to forgive certain people for the actions that they've done. You need to remember that you are not saying what that person has done is okay. It's not okay. But you are accepting that it has happened. You are accepting that it has taken some of your energy, and you're accepting that you don't want that to happen anymore. Forgive, release, and forget. Those are the three important factors. You forgive the person for what they've done to you, or you forgive the experience that has happened. You don't say that what they've done is right. You say you don't want to give any more negative energy towards it. And then you can release that, and it lifts a massive weight. There have been very, very traumatic situations in my life that I have had to take a long time to build up to the forgiveness. I was in a relationship for 10 years where I was beaten. And it took me years to get to a point where I could say, I forgive you. And I've never actually said it to his face. And I probably never will, because to be honest, I never want to see him again. But I've forgiven what's happened in the past, and I've been able to let it go, which has helped me. And that helped me have a very big transformational period in my life. And it was a wonderful experience. So if you can go through this cord cutting process, it gives you that peace of mind. It helps you to clear the energetic field around you, and it helps you to realize that you are in control of your feelings. You are in control of how you react to things. You may not be in control of what happens around you, and circumstances will crop up in the future and will have done in the past, which will have affected you. But you can take a stance and decide how you're going to let that affect you. So today, this meditation is about cord cutting. Now, it can be related to a specific person, and the more specific you can be, the better. It can relate to a situation. It can relate to an event. It can relate to a memory. It can relate to any of these things. Anything that you are allowing to take your energy, then you can cut the cord. And if you don't like the term cut, because it can be quite a harsh description of it, I think the reason they say cord cutting is because of the idea of the umbilical cord and the snipping of the cord. So we're going to go through this with a crystal. Now, you don't have to. There's a lot of cord cutting meditations out there where you don't use a crystal. I specifically, for this one, I'm going to use obsidian. And I use it as something to ground me. So it's a great stone for grounding anyway. But if you have an obsidian, obsidian is a stone that has been used as a tool in history. If you look back, there are certain locations and localities that have used slithers of obsidian because of how sharp it is. So now I don't want you to use a sharp obsidian. Don't do that at all. But if you have a small piece of tumbled obsidian, maybe you've got it in a round, maybe you've got an egg shape obsidian, maybe you've even got a couple of beads or a bracelet, something, and it can be golden obsidian, it can be snowflake obsidian, it can be black obsidian, it can be any of the obsidians. It's just about the stone that it is. So if you just sit for a moment, take your piece of obsidian. If you don't have obsidian, again, you can just sit and just imagine that you have an obsidian. And I want you to take a moment to just come into center. So sit comfortably, have your feet placed on the floor if you're sitting on a chair. If you're not sitting on a chair, you can sit cross-legged if you want. You can lie down as well. It's whatever makes you comfortable. And then I just want you to draw your attention to the center of your body, to the chakra lines and the chakra points. Whenever you breathe in, I want you to imagine breathing in white light. When you breathe out, I want you to imagine you breathing out all the stresses and the strains of your day. And I want you to do that 3 more times. Just focus on the breathing. Now I want you to imagine your crown chakra. Imagine it as a white flower opening from a bud into full bloom. And as it does so, it allows white light to travel from the universal energy down to each of your chakra points. And as it hits your third eye chakra, allow that to open in the same way. As it hits your throat chakra, allow that to do the same way. As it hits your heart chakra, allow that to open also. And just keep going through until all your chakra points are open. Solar plexus chakra, sacral chakra, base chakra. And each time you breathe in, allow that light to go further and further down through the chakra points. And allow it to go through the legs. And just imagine small points at the base of your feet, just opening up and allowing the light to go down into the ground. And as the light goes down into the ground, it forms roots to ground you. Now just take a moment to sit in that white light and in that space. And just take a moment to breathe deeply into that and to relax. When you are ready, I want you to bring the image of the person or the event or the situation that you want to cut the cord from into your mind, and just focus on that for a moment. Allow their energy to be in your energetic space and just feel how it feels. It might be uncomfortable. That's okay. Remember, we're cutting the cord, so it will pass. How does that person or event make you feel? Are you feeling sadness? Are you feeling anger? Are you feeling loss? It's okay. Just take a moment to allow those feelings to be. Don't try to suppress them, just allow them to be and acknowledge them. And thank those feelings for the lessons that they have taught you. Now think about that person or that situation again. And just look how are they right now? Are they feeling happy with themselves? Or are they hurting just as much as you are? Now this is going to be difficult. But I want you to take the moment to find some way to forgive them for what they've done or for what has happened. And if you can, put a hand on their shoulder. If you can, shake their hand. And if you can, give them a hug. And find a way to forgive. Say to them, I forgive you for what you have done to me. thank you for the lessons it has taught me. And I give it no more of my energy. I forgive you. Give them one final hug or a handshake. Or if it's a situation or an event, just take one more moment in that space. And then I want you to focus on you once more. Where is that cord connected? Is it connecting to your heart? Is it connecting to your head? Which of the chakras is it connected to? Just imagine that golden cord right now. And I want you to just take your hand, whichever hand you don't hold the obsidian. And I want you to hold the cord as close to your body as possible. Take the obsidian. Imagine the obsidian to be a blade. And when you're ready, say thank you for the lessons. I forgive you your actions. Take my power back. And then with the obsidian, cut that cord. Let it go. And release. Just take a moment to breathe out. All of the negativity that you've held on to over these years. Feel the freedom of not having to give any of your energetic field to somebody or an event or a situation. And then take a moment to come back to the end of the cord. We're going to seal the end. With some meditations, they connect it to source. I would prefer to seal the end to make sure no connection can be made again. So now I want you to imagine the obsidian once more. I want you to imagine where it originally came from. It's a volcanic descent, so it would have been forged in fire. Imagine how hot it would have been initially. And just take a moment to imagine the obsidian getting hotter and hotter and hotter. And rest it on the cord. Rest it on the cord ending. Allow the heat to close the cord. Allow the heat to make that final separation completely healed. And once you've done that, take the obsidian away, and I want you to breathe light into that area. That white light that's travelling through you, that you set up at the beginning of this meditation, breathe the white light into that area. Breathe the white light to where the cord is. Just to heal and close and seal that cord so no further connection can be made. Feel the warmth, the love and the light through your body. And then just take a moment Release all negativity and take a moment in that white light, knowing that you have severed a cord and you are in charge of how you feel. And when you're ready, I want you to just imagine those holes in your feet starting to close up. The roots are coming back in. I want you to focus on your crown chakra and allow that to close down as well. And just go through all your chakra points in reverse to what you did before. Base chakra, allow that to close. Sacral chakra, solar plexus chakra. Still hold on to the white light, but we just want them to go slightly dormant just so you can rest. Heart chakra, throat chakra, third eye chakra, crown chakra. Breathe in deeply. And start to feel your way coming back into the room. And when you're ready, open your eyes. And just take a moment, take as long as you need. And for the rest of the day, you don't have to close the chakras down the way I've just done. I find it helps, because if I keep my chakras open, things start to distract me. So the rest of the day is about you now. Be kind to yourself. You may cry. You may need to release emotion. Allow it to be there. Don't suppress it. If you need to cry, cry. If it means you have to take yourself off to a different room so you can do it in private, then that's fine. If you need to shout, shout. Don't vent at other people. Just allow those energies and tensions that have been in your body to just come out. So if you need to shout, scream into a pillow. If you need to cry, take yourself off and have a cry. You might find that you laugh hysterically. There's been a number of moments I've cut cords and that's what happened to me. You might feel very drained. If you feel drained, have a nap. And it's a nice thing to do to drink a lot of water throughout the day as well. Keep yourself hydrated. Feed yourself with wholesome foods. Fresh fruit and vegetables is important. Try to avoid processed foods for at least today. Caffeine and alcohol as well. Try to avoid those just for today. Or longer if you can. And finally, if you can get yourself, if you have a bath, have a nice hot bath. Water is really nurturing and really soothing. Or if you can have a shower, do that instead. If you are having a bath, Epsom salts are always really good. Obviously, if you've got any allergies, just bear those in mind and don't use them if they're problematic. If you do choose a bath, don't use bath products. Just allow the water to be as it is. The same with a shower. Just stand under the shower and enjoy the feeling of the water against your body. And hopefully that is something that you can, a tool now that you can come back to time and time again. You can use it as many times as you want. You may have many cords that you need to cut. You may have many situations in the future that you need to cut as well. So hopefully that has helped. That is my final Crystal Goddess for 2020. Let's see what 2021 will bring. Thank you for joining me. I hope you can join me again on the next Crystal Goddess. Love to all.